everyone, I'm Jack. I'm one of the solicitors here at Buxton Coates Solicitors, and I deal in corporate and commercial property. As a commercial solicitor, I've seen multiple transactions fall through, and I'm here today to help you understand the top 5 reasons why most sales do fall through. One of the primary reasons why a sale may fall through is that from the perspective of a buyer, they will be more focused on the financials of the company, not the intention behind it. One very off-putting fact when it comes to sales is discrepancies on the accounts or inaccurate information that's been recorded. A buyer, when looking at these documents, may be deterred from buying the practice or the business, and one way in which to avoid that is to make sure that all your finances are properly documented and ensure that they are as up to date as they possibly can be when you pass them to the buyer. Another reason why a sale may fall through, and this is particularly predominant where an agent isn't involved, is tying the value of the practice or business to emotional value. Of course, to you, it may be your child or your baby, as some like to say, and it may be of more sentimental value to yourself than it's actually worth on paper. One key takeaway is to try and detach yourself from that sentimental value and be realistic when looking for a sale value. Valuers may be able to assist you with this in order to make sure that you do get as good a deal as you possibly can, but to avoid it being overvalued due to sentiment. The third reason why a transaction may fall through is that there are not appropriate steps put in place for the transition after completion. A buyer often would like to see a smooth transition to take place, potentially including the seller actually staying on as an associate for a few months after completion, just to ensure that there is a smooth transition. Without these steps in place, a buyer may be deterred, so it's a very good idea to ensure that there is steps taken to plan the transition out smoothly, and again, having a practical approach with the buyer often achieves a smooth completion. The fourth reason why a transaction may fall through is due to the buyer's financing falling apart. It's quite rare to see a cash purchase take place these days, and it's often dependent on banks being satisfied in terms of their requirements. One of the key steps that can be taken at this stage is to ensure that banking is dealt with as early as possible in the transaction. Make sure that the credit is all lined up, ready to go, and is ready to be handed to solicitors as soon as the transaction's underway. The fifth and last reason why a transaction may fall through, and this is arguably one of the more common reasons why a deal may fall through, is simply due to deal fatigue. It does take some time for a transaction to go through. You're often looking at least 6 months, sometimes in the region of 12 months for a deal to go through. And in that period of time, it can become quite frustrating to continuously be dealing with the same sale. The buyer may lose interest, and simply the seller may be tired from continuous inquiries. Part of dealing with this is to ensure that you're thoroughly prepared at the outset, making sure that all your documents are prepared properly, and to make sure that a good set of solicitors are instructed, and that you've got specialists all around you who can hold your hand and support you in order to achieve the fastest and smoothest sale that you possibly can. The good news is most falling through sales are preventable, and they're preventable by having a good team around you, preparation, and ensuring that you are realistic in terms of sale price. Ensuring that a good team around you is ultimately key, making sure that you have strong solicitors who can help you through every step of the transaction, including the commercial property work, the corporate work, and the employment work. Here at Buxton Coates Solicitors, we have a specialist team dealing with all 3 areas. Feel free to contact us today.